There we go. I'm in my main account as well. All right, welcome everybody to the AMA with the whole team. They were actually really impressive. We done a competition for the most engaging projects, and they smashed it by miles. I've been watching them for the past few days, and they've been coming into the main group. They've been showing a lot of support towards our project also, and it's a pleasure to have you, mate. Do you want to just introduce yourself?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having us up. And yeah, the community really did smash that post. They are really something else. And it's hard to come by that type of, organic activity when it comes to crypto nowadays. But yeah, my name is Roger. I've been in the DeFi space for a few years now. Obviously, weathered the bear market and in the bull run had some very successful projects too. But yeah, I mean, my last significant project I worked on was Wall Street Baby, that went to 50 plus mil. I've worked on Proof of Memes, that hit an all time high of 350 mil. And yeah, I mean, I've had some other projects too, but outside of that, I've really focused in on, what are the problems with DeFi? What are the problems with crypto projects and what is preventing them from being successful like they used to be. And, most of that comes down to holding. So that's how we've gotten here today.
Yeah, it's really impressive. So, do you want to just explain what's actually happened with like how much supply has been burnt and how did it launch and like all the basics of what makes it special? Because obviously there's only a tiny percentage of supply left on the Uniswap, etc. Do you want to just like dive deep into that?
Yeah, so when this first launched, I tried doing something experimental with the contract. So this really is an experimental, community. What I did was I limited the max wallet on launch to 0.01% of the supply. And that really meant that any snipers that were getting in on launch were only getting 10 million coins. And so that lasted for 6 hours where you could only buy 10 million coins. And at that point, you were spending more on gas than you were on the, the coins that you were buying because it was so cheap to buy 10 million coins on launch. And then every 6 hours it doubled. It went from 0.01% to 0.02% to zero point zero 0.04 to zero point zero 0.08 to 0.16 to 0.32 until the max wallet was equal to the max supply. Basically, it meant the limit was eventually removed over the course of like 4 to 5 days. And then what I also did was I launched it with a 3 and 3 tax, 3 buy and 3 sell. And, all of this is happening with the contract being renounced. So after it launched, the initial tax was 3%, and then every 7 days it went down 1% to 2%. And then this week it's now 1%, and next week it goes down to 0%. So what I did was I gave myself a 3 week timeline to decentralize this project. And that's exactly why we are seeing so much bullish and organic activity from the community. It's because, they understand that I did what's best for a group of people to be able to, create a massively successful project. And that's what it's all about. So, no whales got in on launch. And if you wanted to become a whale, by the time the max wallet became 1%, it was already very expensive to do so, and we only had like one person actually buy that many coins. Obviously, some people on launch might have bought from multiple wallets, but on launch you would have need to have purchased from 100 wallets and buy 0.01% in each wallet to be able to get 1%. And as I said, the gas fees were super high. People at people at launch had no idea what this was, so nobody did that. So we have no snipers, we have no whales, and honestly, we have an incredible community because of that. So I set out to solve, you know, there's definitely an epidemic in DeFi with the amount of accessible snipers there are for the average person. And for every successful, snipe that happens in DeFi, you're looking at a successfully destroyed project in my eyes. So snipers are destroying crypto. Whales aren't holding like they used to, and that leads the people that actually want to hold with, their money lost. So that was the whole purpose of this project, was to provide a safe place for people that like to hold. I am one of those people. I've lost a lot of money the last few months, and it's because of whales destroying charts, and it's also because of snipers destroying projects. So I aim to start kind of a revolution between, the people, sticking up for the little guy that wants to hold, doesn't want to sit there and day trade shit and snipe shit and treat DeFi like some big player versus player game. So that's who I'm sticking up for. And then at large, I'm trying to create a movement between developers to end the sniper regime and to end, the idea that people are not holding.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, mate. And honestly, that's amazing. I didn't know all that, but the way you've done that is absolutely amazing. No, honestly, kudos to you, bro. I totally agree. And especially with the way the market sentiment is at the moment as well, it's really hard. You know what it's like. People think, a week is long term these days, like even 24 hours. Like I'm in some groups and people can't hold more than 24 hours anymore. And it's a shame because I think it's just like the mentality now. Everyone's just expecting dumps all the time. But yeah, honestly, what you've done is amazing, and that's what we're trying to do with Maine as well. Like, obviously, we haven't got many whales in our project, and we've done a fair launch, and it was only zero point 0.5 max ETH in the pre-sale, and the pre-sale sold out in like 9 seconds. And we only raised 30 ETH, just mainly for the liquidity. But I totally agree. The main thing we're trying to do is build a solid community and actually connect with other projects like yourselves, and obviously build partnerships and people that want to hold. Obviously, the markets will get better, but it's just people have got that mentality. They all want the next Pepe, don't they? And it is really hard to actually build a solid community, especially in the bear market.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely could not agree with you more. From the outsiders looking in, it's like, who's going to go into DeFi if you have to sit there all night and watch a chart to make sure you don't lose all your money? Who's going to jump in on these projects? And that's why I think we're seeing so much liquidity flow out of DeFi, because people do not want to take part in, all the sniping and the constant 24-hour chart staring. So that's why, this community is definitely built a lot different. These people are 100% on the dot, ready to work for their bags, and they're doing it every day. The chatter shields are up, probably 10 hours a day, getting all that organic reach happening, and people feel comfortable sitting on their bags here because the snipers didn't get in successfully, and the whales that are holding are doing a great job at it. So, and there's very few of them, and right now we see, obviously there's not much supply left in Uniswap, so it leads to supply shock, and it leads to, quite frankly, it leads to a happy ending for all those people that want to actually hold.
Yeah, 100%. And I was lucky. Obviously, I got to know you guys a few days ago, and I actually managed to get in yesterday. There was like a little dip on your chart,
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
and I managed to get in there. So I'm happy holding a little bag with yourself. And I know a few of your guys got into Maine as well, which is nice. But yeah, it's really refreshing to see such like an amazing Telegram group. Because obviously ours is busy, but I've been watching yours, and yours is insane as well. Because I've been, I've got a lot of investments in a lot of projects, and like I was saying in your group earlier, they're just ghost towns. Do you know what I mean? There's no one's engaging. It's really nice to see a few projects actually having a bit of engagement and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've had projects that I've created become ghost towns due to, at the end of the day, the most important marketing is your chart. So no matter how much you do to push a project, no matter how hard you work on it, no matter how great the utility is, it can become a ghost town if the community decides they're not going to engage. And especially if the chart is, straight up and straight down after launch, that becomes a pretty big issue from a developer standpoint. So this is really, the first community project where I have where they're leading their own voice chats. They're starting their own raids. They are requesting admins to go out there and put up raids. I mean, we haven't even landed on CoinGecko and CMC yet, and that's planned to happen today with the person that we hired to do it. So it's really interesting. There's it's truly organic community, and with taxes going to 0-0 next week, that means this is the one community that can truly be trusted to go out there and market it on their own. I always said that when it came to Pepe or Shiba or really any project that hit a multi-billion-dollar market cap, it hit that market cap not because it was marketed to that point, but because the community was worth that much money. So that's especially how I felt about Shiba. I mean, they used to go out there and email the hell out of exchanges. The community would do that day in and day out, to the point where the exchanges would get so annoyed, they would just list the project. So that's the type of activity I'm trying to bring to this project, where we are just a force to be reckoned with in DeFi. And, honestly, the branding with Hold, it relates to a lot of outside factors like GameStop, AMC, or any other crypto project that, quote unquote, went to the moon. It didn't go there because people were day trading it so hard or sniping it so hard that they destroyed the chart. It went to the moon because people were holding, and people saw a place, in a community that they could join, and they felt comfortable holding and joining the movement too. So I look at our project as more of a movement and kind of a middle finger to all the things that are wrong with trading behaviors now in the space. And we're trying to bring in outsiders. We're trying to attract that AMC and GameStop crowd. We've had Jamie Rogozinski, the Wall Street Bets Twitter, tweet about us. We have other things coming. We'll have the Instagram making a post about us soon, the Wall Street Bets Instagram. And really, outside of that marketing, the biggest marketing that we have is our community. And as you can see, it's very strong. And one thing, one thing else I did on launch was, I was able to buy and burn we're up to 72% of the supply now is bought and burned, not just burned, bought and burned. So, that also helps with supply control, taking the supply, majority of the supply out of the hands of people that might otherwise have sold it.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is. So how much circulating supply is in supply? Is it just obviously the burn, and then you've just got the Uniswap supply, and then the rest is circulating?
Correct.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is, mate. And what's the max wallet? Is it 1%? Did you say?
No, so Max Wallet is now the max supply. So that means it's, exchanges, they can have 2, 3, 4% on an exchange wallet, such as, Binance or, any other big exchange we list with. The max supply is now equal to the total supply, which would be impossible to have now because so much is burned and there's so little left in Uniswap.
That's amazing, mate. No, really well done, especially in this market to have such, momentum and such an amazing community which you've got. It's amazing, mate. It really is. Well done.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to the community. It's this was a pipe dream when I first launched it. I watched it go from like a $1,000 market cap all the way to where it is now, and the dream is living on. People are, it feels like a community you would see in a bull run. It's not all the when. It's more so go out and work for your bags, and that's just something that's so rare to see in crypto nowadays.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, are you planning on any further developments, or is it literally just going to be like a community project? Are you planning on any utilities, or have you got any plans, or is it just going to be a community project?
We'll probably launch some form of an NFT project, but for the most part, it's really just going to represent a movement that all of us believe in, and it's going to represent, a movement in DeFi, the same type of movement that we saw happen with GameStop and AMC stocks. It's truly just a movement.
Yeah, to be honest, in this sort of market as well, I do actually think sometimes less is more anyway, like keeping it simple. When you start having to pay developers stupid money every month, you're taking on more responsibility. That's one of the main things with Maine. We haven't got any overheads really, so every promotion that we do, we buy back and burn Maine on the chart. Like today, someone paid $500 for a promotion, so we've just literally bought back Maine and burnt it. So we've burnt, like, not just from team supply, we've burned nearly 6% of the supply in 2 weeks now. That's actually bought back off the chart. And so yeah, I know the value. Some projects say, oh, we've just burnt 5%, but obviously they haven't bought the tokens off the market. They've just literally had them tokens, and it brings no value to the project. So what you've done and what we're doing, I agree, is like a massive compared to anyone can say they're burning tokens, but it doesn't bring any value, does it?
Yeah, I mean, over time, you really have to, I think, burn a lot for it to really start making sense. But I do want to say this. You're right about the overhead thing with developers. And the problem is developers are charging the same amount that they charge as if it's a bull market. So it's really a push-pull when it comes to utility. I mean, I made this as simple as can be. The name is actually called Everybody, and then the ticker is Hold. So right away, if somebody buys this, they're just thinking, okay, hold.
Yeah, I love it. I love the branding as well. And honestly, I've seen all the memes that your community is making. It's fun to watch, to be honest. I'm glad I got a little bag, and I'll be holding. But yeah, man, it's really really good to have you here. Have you got anything else you want to say, or what the plans are? I know you're getting CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, but I think I've seen you doing a Chinese group on Telegram, aren't you?
So we also this Sunday we have two AMAs coming up. Yeah, I mean, all the natural things that you get, like CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, the coin listing sites, we'll have all that. And really, we're just going to continue to raid every major influencer in this space until they do not have a chance, or until they have to buy a bag, because every time they post something, their entire feed is just filled with hold.
I love it. Now, fair play, man. And I'm glad you won the engagement. You deserved it. And I've been watching you for the past couple of days, and you've brought quite a few people into my community, which I appreciate as well. But yeah, I really appreciate your time and thanks for coming.
I appreciate you having us up here. And yeah, go check out Everybody Holds. Everybody underscore holds on Twitter is the username. And, join our community. We usually leave the voice chats running all day. People go in there, they throw music online. And, listening to music while you raid, it's a great way to drive engagement. So that this community is awesome. I don't care what project you are a part of. If you're looking for somewhere, whether whether you like utility projects, whether you like Bitcoin, whether you like ETH, there's a common theme as to how all these projects got to where they are today. It's by holding. So come join the movement, come join the fun, and honestly, come join the party, because that's what this feels like.
Yeah, respect, bro. And if you get a post out on your main account with your socials on, I'll retweet it so people that joined the AMA can get all your details.
Awesome. I can do that as soon as we hop off of this.
All right, cool. And anyone who's listening, if you fancy getting your project up on for an AMA, just drop us a DM or join our Telegram group, and one of our team will take the booking. Thanks for everyone that joined, and catch you all later.
Have a nice Thursday, everybody.
See you later, mate.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.